start off. Thought our guys really responded in the third quarter. We've had two tough third quarters at the start of this year, and our guys really came out and applied the defense, the pressure we're looking at. And then, we battled. We had a little bit of a tough start, but the resiliency was really good for our team tonight. And we finally played, a little bit more, close to 48 minutes, which we've been looking to do. We've been a little bit inconsistent with the start of the season, but we played a full game. So good job by our guys. I'll open up for questions.
How does it feel to have the best road record of any coach in NBA history?
Pretty good, John. Yeah, it was good to get a win on the road. Tough, great team, obviously well-coached team. Put some tough matchups out there, and I thought our guys responded defensively tonight.
In all seriousness, how did you clean up the turnovers in the second half? Because you had 13 at halftime and only 5 after.
We were playing in crowds in the first half. They were crowding the paint, and we were just trying to drive through, and we just told our guys at halftime, hey, look, passes are open. The ball's going to come back to you. Keep sharing, and I thought we did a much better job of that in the second half, and that led to us hitting a decent amount of threes.
Kuz came out with about a couple minutes left. What was the reason?
Yeah, just being evaluated right now. They're going to look him at in the back. I don't really have an update yet.
So it is an injury?
Yeah, he felt something in his leg, so I'm not 100% sure what's, they're looking at him right now, but yeah, he pulled himself out of the game.
You guys did really well from the three-point line today. What's it like to get that kind of bounce-back three-point performance?
Like I said, the shots are going to come and go. Is the quality of shots that we were looking to get. We've actually gotten good quality in the first two games. First half, like John pointed out, we were not kicking out. We weren't making the extra pass. The second half we did. That led to some wide-open threes that created some good momentum for us.
Probably Trae's toughest 14 points he's had in maybe his entire career. What does it say about the way Bilal took on this challenge, executed what you guys wanted to do defensively, but every time Trae kept coming at him, he just kept fighting and fighting and fighting? What was it mentality-wise that he was able to do?
I mean, this is a great player. He probably missed some shots that he'll probably make. But Bilal did his best he could. Just told him to keep fighting, keep contesting, try to keep him off the free throw line as much as you can. Try to use your length. If he's going to make some tough ones, pat him on the back and try doing it again. When you play against guys like that, they're going to keep coming the whole game. But it wasn't just him, it was our whole team. It wasn't just a one-on-one game out there. Our whole team was much better in the second half with our pick-and-roll defense. Made it look crowded for him. That's what we were looking for tonight.
Is that why you went with Bilal's size, trying to crowd Trae as much as possible just at the point of attack?
Well, that's our best defender, first of all. I think you guys know what I feel about Bilal. That's our best perimeter defender on the basketball, so he gets the tough matchups every night. I know he likes the challenge, but he was our best matchup, and we try to use his length. That's what he does.
And there was a point in that fourth quarter where there was a two freshmen and a sophomore rotation defensively, where first Keyshawn kind of tried to go for that deflection, and then Bilal and Sar both came over for that help. They did get the possession in their favor, but what does it say just about the way that they rotated tonight, especially with how much Atlanta wanted to be in the paint?
Those are the things we talked about after the first two games. I thought we played good halves as defense versus Boston and Cleveland. We wanted to put a full game together. We definitely saw more of that. It wasn't a complete game yet. We obviously have a ways to go. But we saw some things that were carryover, things we talked about in practice yesterday.
With Bilal,
Go ahead.
With him, he had those tough matchups all season and in the first two games of this year, but the other team, even though it was tougher, the other players still did well. For him to have, the performance he did today, and for Trae to have the performance he did today, what does that do for his defensive confidence?
I think he has a high defensive confidence because he's gone through this last year. He went through the gamut of all the great players in the league. And you sometimes know you're just trying to make their life as difficult as possible. These guys can hit tough shots. They're going to hit tough shots. Sometimes they don't go for the other team, but try to make it as difficult and put them in areas as hard for them to make as much as possible. But the NBA is unforgiving. He's going to have to play the same team again, but night after night he's going to see these type of matchups. Great learning experience for him, but good job tonight.
Late first half, Keyshawn got a defensive 3 seconds, and then the whole bench was up and applauding. Can you explain what's behind that?
Yeah, we want to take care of the paint. So I don't want to reveal too much of the secrets why they were applauding, but we want to be in the paint. We want to make the paint look crowded. We think that's where we can turn people over. So you got a defensive 3 seconds. I think we were excited that he was in there. So I'll leave it at that.
Alex faced a decent amount of negative attention from the Atlanta crowd today. How did you see him respond to, that bit of adversity?
First, I didn't hear any of that. Don't hear much of the crowd myself, and I'm sure Alex is exactly like me because it didn't seem like he had any influence on him whatsoever during the game. This guy's he's got a really good way about him. He just played, and you saw the impact he had at the rim. Pretty impressive.
The other day at practice, you had mentioned with Corey and his shooting, you said, we have to get him more shots. I think you had pretty good success at doing that tonight, but just his mentality of just staying ready and staying locked in, what was he able to kind of navigate in what the defense was giving him tonight?
I think for Corey, if we're playing the game the right way, he's going to get threes, and that was my challenge to the group is if we're moving the ball, we're sharing it, the ball should land in his hands, and we need to find him because he has a great way of finding space, great way of getting open, but we got to get our eyes up and find him. And it showed that we played a better game, especially in the second half when the turnovers are down. We're able to find him. He's got to get up 8 to 9, 10 threes a game, but that's us playing the right way.
Bub's pull-ups seemed to fall really well today. What did you think of his game?
Yeah, Bub was great. Defended, played with purpose, played with attack, swung the ball, made shots. He was playing good.
And Kyle exited with the injury, but before that had kind of, that second half eruption that you guys talked about, him being a scorer.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the biggest thing to me is Kyle rebounded tonight. I think he had 9 defensive boards. That allows him to push in transition, where it's just one of his strengths. And then, like I said, this guy's going to score. I would have never concerned about him making shots. The defensive activity and then the passing. Had a little bit of turnovers in the first half, but he calmed that down, and then he found players in the second half. Good overall game for Kyle.